Welcome back to the deep dive. Okay, I want you to imagine something for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Picture all those famous authors you had to read in school. Dazai, Akutagawa, maybe even Dostoevsky.
Yeah, sure.
Now, what if they weren't writing novels? What if they were, like, detectives and gang leaders fighting a turf war in the streets of Yokohama?
It sounds completely wild, doesn't it? But that is, that's the core premise of Bungo Stray Dogs.
Right, and this isn't some tiny indie manga. We're talking about a massive franchise.
Oh, it's huge. There's the manga, of course, 5 seasons of the anime,
Yeah.
movies like Dead Apple, even stage plays. It's a juggernaut.
That's what we need to get into. Is this just a cool gimmick slapping famous names onto superpowers? Or is there something, deeper going on?
I think there is.
So let's start with the basics. Just give us the overview of this world.
Okay, so everything is set in this fictionalized version of Yokohama. Our entry point is a protagonist named Atsushi Nakajima.
Okay.
He's 18, an orphan, and he's just been kicked out of his orphanage.
Yeah.
He's literally starving by a river.
That's a pretty grim start.
It is. But then he sees a man trying to drown himself in that same river, and he jumps in to save him.
And let me guess, this is not just some random guy.
Not at all. The man he saves is Osamu Dazai, who's a key member of the armed detective agency.
Which is a group of people with special abilities.
Exactly. They're ability users who handle all the cases that are way too dangerous or weird for the regular police.
And this meeting changes everything for Atsushi, right? Because it turns out he's not just a normal kid.
Precisely. Dazai helps him realize he has an ability of his own called Beast Beneath the Moonlight.
He can turn into a white tiger.
Yes. He was the man-eating tiger that had been terrorizing the area, and he didn't even know it. So once Dazai helps him get it under control, he joins the agency.
But they can't just be solving petty crimes. Who are they actually fighting against?
Their main rivals, at least at the beginning, are the Port Mafia. They're this ruthless organization that basically controls the city's entire criminal underworld.
Okay, so detective agency versus the mafia.
And it gets bigger. Later, the scope blows up to include international groups like the Guild from North America and this other really mysterious group, the Decay of the Angel.
And what's everyone after? It can't just be territory.
It's much, much higher stakes than that. They are all after an object called the book.
The book.
It's the ultimate MacGuffin. It's a blank literary book, and anything written inside it becomes reality.
Anything.
As long as the story is, internally consistent. So yeah, you can literally rewrite the world.
Wow. That's a terrifying concept. Okay, so we have the overview. Now I want to pivot to the appeal. Why does this whole thing work so well?
I think it really starts with the ability system itself. It's such a brilliant way to gamify literature. The powers aren't random. They're pulled directly from the real author's most famous works.
Okay, give me an example. How does that translate into a fight?
So take Dazai. His ability is named after his real-life book, No Longer Human. In the show, it lets him nullify any other ability just by touching the user. It kind of reflects the detachment and alienation in his novel.
That is so cool. What about someone from the Port Mafia?
Their big hitter is Renosuke Akutagawa. His ability is Rashomon. It lets him turn his coat into this devouring black beast that can literally cut through space itself.
And I saw a note about someone who materializes things from a notebook.
That's Doppo Kunikita. He's the straight-laced idealist of the agency. His ability, Doppo Poet, lets him bring objects into existence by writing them in his notebook.
But there's a catch, right?
Yeah, the object can't be bigger than the notebook itself. It adds this great tactical layer. It's not just about raw power. It's about preparation and limits.
Speaking of tactics, I kept seeing the term double black or Suskoku. What's the deal there?
That is probably the core of the fandom's obsession. It's the name for the partnership between Dazai and Chuya Nakahara.
Chuya is the Port Mafia executive who controls gravity.
That's the one. They're former partners, and they absolutely despise each other.
So it's that classic, we hate each other but we're unstoppable together trope.
To the extreme, they bicker constantly, but the second a fight starts, their coordination is just perfect. Dazai is the strategist.
Yeah.
Chuya is the powerhouse. It's that dynamic that people love.
So the battles aren't just about who can punch the hardest.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And that's another pillar of its success.
Yeah.
The strategic depth. The fights are so often about intellect. There's this whole arc where Dazai is locked up in a supermax prison called Mersalt,
Okay.
and he's fighting his rival, Fyodor, purely through psychological warfare. They can't even see each other. They're communicating with the outside world using, the rhythm of their heartbeats as a code.
That's insane. It's like 5D chess.
Exactly. And the franchise even plays with its own formula. You have to hear about Beast.
What's a beast?
It's a what-if story, a spin-off that got a live-action movie. It asks, what if Atsushi, our hero, had joined the Port Mafia instead? And what if Akutagawa joined the detective agency?
So it flips the entire setup.
Completely. And it works. It just shows how strong the core characters are, that you can put them in these opposite roles, and the story is still just as compelling.
So to wrap it all up, what we have is a really stylish blend of literary history, supernatural action, and these incredibly deep character dramas about orphans finding their place in the world.
That's the heart of it, I think. Underneath all the cool powers, it's a story about people searching for a reason to exist.
Well, here's a final thought for you to chew on. In a world where a blank book can rewrite reality, if you were the one holding the pen, would you change the past to fix your mistakes, or would you try to write a completely new future? Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive.